My fingers dance on the keyboard as I birth my latest fiction piece, heading toward the climax where my poor character learns she's the victim of an internet scam. I am jarred by the sound of the phone. And it's Karina, my next-door neighbor sobs. Joe cut off his finger. We have to go to hospital. I'll be right there. Another chance to show my California neighbors some Southern care. I run out of the house, door unlocked, grateful I am dressed. My heartbeat accelerates. Joe and Karina Fernandez's Trailblazer is in front of my driveway. Karina gestures wildly for me to come with them. She has blood on her hands and face. I stumble to get into the back seat, and one of my sandals falls off. I let the other one drop in the driveway. Karina steps on the gas. Joe moans, huddled over his hand, wrapped in a towel. It hurts, he screams. Hold on, baby. Karina drives faster. I put my hands on both of their shoulders and pray. Is there any remover of difficulties save God? Joe moans again. I think of the finger. Where is it? I decide not to ask such a left-brained question. Karina is behind several cars in the slow lane and honks. Joe says she should have gone another way. I tell him it's going to be okay, even though that seems unlikely. What are the kids going to think? Karina begins to cry. There was blood everywhere. I picture 11-year-old Jocelyn and 9-year-old Joseph coming home, wondering what has happened. I also think of how I will arrive at the hospital with no shoes, no purse, no cell phone. Even though they are new to the area, Karina seems to know exactly where she is going. Joe cries out again. Karina hands me her cell phone. I call Karina's sister, no answer. Then I call the hospital emergency number, but no one picks up. Joe is shaking and groaning, rocking back and forth. It hurts. Hang on. Is there any remover? We're here. Somehow I jump out of the back seat and run through the emergency room door. This is an urgent emergency, I announce, aware of my redundancy. He's cut off his finger with a table saw. I've made an assumption, having recently seen Joe cutting wood in the backyard for their new floors. Joe and Karina are inside. I tell Karina that I will park the car. No, go take care of the children, she says. They'll be home from school. I drive their Trailblazer barefoot and without a license. I am glad that they trust me and that I know their children. It seems to take forever to get to our cul-de-sac. I pull into the Fernandez's driveway. The front door is open. The kids are already home. They appear. Jocelyn's face is grave. Joseph's unreadable. Where are Mom and Dad? Why are you driving our car? It's going to be okay, I assure them. Your parents are at the hospital. Your father cut his finger. I told myself it was only paint, said Jocelyn. I'll give my purse and shoes, and then I'll take you to the hospital. My voice sounds even, calm. Your shoes are in the road, says Joseph. Another thing they must have found strange. I race home, grab my purse, and start an email message. Subject line, emergency prayers needed. Body of text. Joe Fernandez cut his finger off at emergency room Charlton. I don't care about the sentence structure, punctuation, or capitalization. Joseph bursts in the back door. My mom wants to talk to you. He hands me the phone. Karina's voice is strained. I need you to do something hard. Go into the backyard and find the finger. Put it in a plastic bag and keep it dry. Put it on top of another plastic bag with ice. Don't let it get wet. My heart convulses. Search for the finger. I prepare an ice chest, finish the email with the word pray. The kids do not know about my task. At some point they had let their dogs into the backyard, and I wonder about the timing. I grab a plastic bag. I search, my heart in my throat. Jocelyn brings the phone out to me again. It is Karina. I can't find it, I say. I'll call you back. What is it? Jocelyn's face is earnest. I know that I have to tell her. His finger, I say. Karina's sister Medea squeals into the driveway and jumps out with her 4 children, 5-year-old twin girls and 2 older boys. "Kids, get inside," she commands. She looks through the bushes and inside the table saw. "We need the kids," she says. All 6 children come out to help us, the twins crying, one clutching her stomach. I hold her briefly. "It's going to be okay." The phrase has become a meaningless litany. Medea asks for a ladder to check the roof. That finger could have been flung anywhere. Medea asks which hand was it, where did they get the towel, whether he had the finger in the towel, whether it could be out in the car. I have no answers. After she comes down from the roof, we look in the car. My mind is a whir. Could I have found the finger if I hadn't gone to get the ice chest first or hadn't sent the email? When did the dogs get out? I call our vet and ask the receptionist if the dogs could be x-rayed, and if a finger was found, would it still be? Yes, the x-ray would show the finger. No, it would not be useful anymore. I tell Medea that I will go back to the hospital to be with Karina, driving their Trailblazer, this time with shoes. I head there, but Karina calls. Joe is in surgery. It is too late for the finger. Subtext, no need to come. I find myself at the grocery store. What do kids like? Pizza, popsicles. Jocelyn likes bean dip, Joseph pasta. I buy all this in packages of frozen enchiladas, tamales. The bill comes to $45 and I don't even think about it. When I get back, Medea is gone and the 6 kids are there by themselves. I show them the food and pass out popsicles. I want red, I want purple. A splatter of blood crosses the kitchen floor and trails through the dining room and garage. I arrange 6 chairs around the kitchen table, start to neaten up the kitchen and move some of the blood-splattered boards of the wood floor Joe had been working on. Medea comes back from the hospital. I'm taking Jocelyn and Joseph home with me. I don't know if Karina and Joe will be back tonight. The kids pack. A car pulls up outside. It is Stephanie, the teenager, who helps me with housework. I ask her if she will help me clean up bloodstains in the neighbor's house. Sure, she says nonchalantly. Coke works. I marvel at how this 16-year-old is so casual about the blood as she cleans it up with Coca-Cola. I busy myself with washing the dishes and cooking enchiladas. The phone rings multiple times, mostly relatives who only speak Spanish. I try to tell them about the accident and know that they wonder what I, a gringa, is doing there. My husband Tim goes over to the hospital. When he comes home, he tells me how badly the hand was damaged, how Joe was awake and talking during the operation. We go back to the house to gather bags of bloody paper towels. As we are leaving, a car pulls into the driveway, 2 male friends having brought Joe and Karina home. Joe, still wearing his bloody t-shirt, is smiling, waving his well-bandaged hand above his head. Ever the host. Come on in. We visit for a while. Karina asks if I will go with her to the pharmacy. We talk about the accident while the prescription is filled. Every finger on Joe's right hand has been damaged. Joe has no memory of what happened, but just before going out to saw the piece of wood, they had found out that his ex-wife had moved to Dallas, which upset them. We drive home. Joe is still playing host to his friends. Blood is seeping through his bandages. Get some rest, I say. He looks at me and smiles. The enchiladas were good. The next morning I wake up thinking about Joe's hand, his right hand held high over his head. As soon as I get home from teaching, I go next door. There are lots of cars in the driveway and unfamiliar children in the front yard. Karina says they've had a hard night and that they had gone back to the hospital and the doctor had put pins in all of Joe's fingers. Joe is surrounded by a circle of sympathizers in the living room. Come on in, Anne. We're having a meeting to decide who will give me a finger. So far, no one has offered. I'll give you a toe, baby, but I need my fingers for the kids, says Karina. I look at the serious faces around me. Karina tells them who I am in Spanish. I can tell she's sharing the story of the trip to the hospital. Tell them about my shoes, I say. She does, they all laugh. I tell Joe that people are praying for him, hoping for the best. I'm keeping my fingers crossed myself, he says. We laugh. He holds up his left hand. Most of you count like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He points to each finger on his right hand as he counts. But I'm going to be counting 1, 1.5, 2. Again, we laugh. The following day, I wake up thinking about Joe's hand again, held high. Out of the window, I see different cars in their driveway. I think about how Joe uses his hands to do construction, to pet his dogs, to get dressed, to shave, to love his wife. At the pharmacy, Karina had told me that just before the accident, Joe's relatives were questioning why they had moved to Texas, away from people who would be there in case anything happened. But look at today, she marveled. Just look at today.